Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 3 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 hour left to go in trading, and you have markets right now. Right near the lows, another negative session. Yesterday, you were trading at 67.54 in the S&Ps. Right now, we're negative by 25 points on the session. We're off by about 0.4%. We're trading at 66.88. NASDAQ 100, we're off by about 100 points or 0.4%. You see the acceleration early today. We make lows in the market just after noon Eastern Time. We're just off those levels. We're off by 0.4%, 24,727. We're up at 25,000 a couple days ago. Dow right now, negative by 198 points, 46,439. That's a loss of 0.4%. And the Russell off by 19. As I talked about in the top of the hour update, gold contract. We got some dollar strength. You got gold pulling back from the highs. Gold right now trading off 1.6%. We're off $61 right now at $37.54. Now, we had an all-time high yesterday. So, not too surprising. You take a look at this weekly, as in we get a little bit of a pullback from an all-time high. The weekly looking ever strong. We haven't had the volume. The volume this week is not showing up on the charts just yet. But look at the relentless volume the last few weeks, right? Million contracts the week of September 1st. That was a short trading week. 1 million contracts on September 8th, 1 million contracts September 15th. Strong volume as we push higher. And in terms of the extension we just got, you back things up to where we were when this run really began. Now, we had a little bit of a consolidation for almost a few years. February of last year, gold trading just above $2,000. You break out, barely any pullback, right? We're talking about almost a straight line move. If you count the pullback that we got from October until basically the middle of November, barely. It's a 1 to 1.618. I mean, it is just a remarkable run. 38.24 gold, though, backing off from those highs, particularly volatile. We jump over to the dollar right now, as I mentioned. We have yields higher, and you're looking at dollar strength today, 97.89. And yeah, we got the 10-year right now. Lows of the week. Right? 112.19 we just made. So you're talking about lows of the week of the 10-year right now, off by 8 ticks, and we're pushing almost 4.16% right now on the 10-year. You jump over to Alibaba. So they're going to spend $50 billion on the race to heat up with AI. They're going to go full stack. They're going to have everything. And you got Chinese chip stocks trading higher today. They're catching a run after NVIDIA and the likes caught a run when NVIDIA is going to be investing $100 billion in OpenAI. And Oracle accelerating and then decelerating. Pretty remarkable, the roller coaster this week. Actually below where we were on Monday. All right, we jump around some of those gold equities today. Just taking a look. What's been remarkable. Okay, now Harmony just comes up. You're talking about almost testing the highs from where we were in April, 1877. We just hit 1871 yesterday. How's that? 6 pennies from the highs. Now, you had some nice volume yesterday, but boy, the volume on the close on these equities on Friday, folks. If you weren't listening to Monday's program, Harmony, for instance, 15.8 million shares on the close of Friday. Now, Friday was options expiration, so a lot of volatility and a lot of volume on the close with options expiration, third Friday of the month. But across the board on these gold equities and a pullback today, you take a look at these equities. For instance, like the XAU. Yeah, well beyond a 1 to 1.618. And you really back up these ETFs, folks? How about 15 years later, right? The highs of December 2010, you finally get above it, you escalate above it, and we're sitting right now just off those highs. But we're getting a pullback today. XAU off by 3%. HUI, actually, check this out. Yeah, didn't even make the highs. Now, maybe we will. Gold. Still strong as rates, Fed in focus. With rates facing pressure to the downside, dollar facing some weakness, but on the heels of that Fed meeting, rates actually rising. All right, we talked about Alibaba, we talked about NVIDIA, and yeah, you're talking about an acceleration. Pretty remarkable. You get the investment. NVIDIA, for instance, just yesterday with that investment in OpenAI. We jump around to some of the other Magnificent Seven. I'm going to go short term. Microsoft right now, up about 0.2% right now. You jump over to Google shares, particularly volatile. Google off by 1.4%. Boy, Amazon's had a rough week. You look at yesterday, you're at 228. We're trading lower. We hit 219 today. We take a look at the daily on Amazon. Yeah, you got some real selling on Friday. And look at how it's continued. Yesterday's volume as well. Almost 71 million shares yesterday. Only second to 97 million in the last couple weeks on the downside. And, you know, you got this low out here from their last earnings when Azure missed greatly, right? You get that acceleration, actually break above the highs. Looks like that's where we may be heading. Amazon off by 0.2%. But yeah, you were up above 224 in the pre-market. All right, we jump over the crude market. So crude catching quite a bid. Put this on a daily. You know, we're just in a consolidation, really. We were as high in the beginning of this month, maybe $66. Take a look at the volume on crude. Yeah, pushing about 253,000 contracts. Crude just cannot catch a bid. You think about political, tensions ratcheting up, Ukraine, Russia, NATO, and still we have crude under $65. Just a testament to how crude's struggling to find a bid. All right, we jump around to some of the streamers. Netflix down by 1.5%. Let's go back to a 5-minute chart. Jump over to Disney. They're raising their prices yesterday. Disney up by 0.8%, 113.17. Paramount Skydance been on a tear recently, down by 1% right now, 19.52. And you jump over to Warner Brothers Discovery, up by about 0.4%. We'll see if that merger or that acquisition takes place. All right, we jump back to these indices. S&Ps right now, negative by 26 points, 66.89. It's going to be interesting. 45 minutes left to go in the trading day. And I say it as in, these markets for the leaders right now, the likes of NVIDIA, Oracle, right? Amazon. Jump over to Apple we haven't covered yet. Apple off more than 1% right now. Now, they didn't have the sell-off yesterday. Some of the equities did. But even Apple off by $3, 1.2%. We jump over to Tesla shares today. Man, Tesla's been on a run to the upside. You're challenging the highs, up another 4%, up $16 to $442. All right, folks, stay tuned. We're going to come back. We got a great guest, our man Sean Edwards, Vice President with Direction, institutional ETF strategist. We'll be coming back. We'll talk some markets. We'll talk some ETFs. Always a great segment. We'll be right back, folks.